Foundation Radio is brought to you by 10th Ward Barbershop, a full-service barbershop offering high-quality haircuts, beard trims, and hot shaves. 10th Ward Barbershop proudly serves the historic Lawrenceville, 10th Ward, and surrounding Pittsburgh areas. Adam frequents 10th Ward Barbershop when he swings through the area and loves Ryan Kane's laser-sharp precision on both his hair and beard needs. But you don't have to take his word for it. WWE superstars Finn Balor and Corey Graves frequent 10th Ward Barbershop for their hair and beard needs. The team at 10th Ward accepts walk-ins, but schedules fill up quickly, so the best way to see them is to make an appointment at 10thwardbarbershop.com. That's 10thwardbarbershop.com. Make sure to grab some Silk Panther hair products in-shop or online while you're there. Schedule your appointment today to see Kane, Jordan, and the rest of the team at 10th Ward Barbershop today, and we thank them for sponsoring the program.
What's up, guys? This is Dirty Dominik Mysterio, and you're listening to Foundation Radio, you deadbeats.
Peace world, and welcome back to Foundation Radio for the Takedown on SI. My name is Adam Barnard. Thank you so much for joining me again today. My guest is arguably the hottest heel in the history of the wrestling business, chicken tender and chicken nugget aficionado, member of the Judgment Day, Dirty Dominik Mysterio. Thank you for joining me, sir. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate your time as always. Talked about it a little bit here a second ago, catching heat. I've been in the live crowds. I've heard them boo you effectively out of the stadium. When you joined the Judgment Day and when you were turning heel, when that process started, did you think you'd get as much heat from the crowd as you thought you were? Did you expect any of that, or was it as a surprise every single week that it was getting worse?
I think it was a surprise to me and everyone. You know, we didn't really know what to expect. It was just something that was presented to me, and I was like, okay, let's run with it and see where this goes. And it's been a wild ride, man.
It certainly looks like it. Is there ever a moment when you're in the ring and you're actually finally able, after like 10 or 15 minutes of them booing you, are you able to actually speak? Is it overwhelming while you're standing there in the ring? And if you had times where you've just been totally thrown off, like what is that like for you to have that kind of heat?
I wouldn't say it's overwhelming. It's more just like I'm embracing all of it. You know, I feel like, I don't know. I understand like what's going on and what I have to do here. And like, they hate me for some strange reason when I'm just trying to speak my mind, even though I speak the truth. So it's just fun, man. I'm out there just, you know, and when they start booing me, it, you know, gives me time to compose myself, even though I do get a little bit flustered. Gives me time to compose myself. I'll talk to Liv, you know, calm down a little bit. But at the end of the day, I'm good.
That's awesome, man. Now, I wanted to talk about, you know, some stuff that's coming up. I know I've seen you trading barbs back and forth with CM Punk. I know that he's somebody he mentioned. You were someone he mentioned he would like to start a feud with after this stuff with Drew McIntyre is over. But he also said that, and I'm quoting him here, he said that Dominik claps when planes land. That's a pretty heavy charge, my friend. For anyone who's ever flown on domestic travel, it's awful that someone would do that. Do you have any official response to CM Punk for that? And what do you hope happens when you're finally able to get your hands on him in the ring?
Well, first of all, last time I was in the CM Punk, I was 11 years old, and he thought he was a big man, you know, singing happy birthday to my loser sister. But anyways, I'd like to see him now. You know, I was my dad's height, 5'5", 5'2". So now I'm 6'1", 200 pounds. I've seen him wrestle, you know, CM Punk. So let's see what you got, old man.
And also, I know you're catching heat now with The Rock. I saw another comment you made this week or last week rather. The only thing The Rock has ever done good is The Mummy 2. Do you have any concerns about a response from the final boss? And why did you slander Walking Tall that way? I mean, that's a great movie, man.
I've never seen it.
It's a great flick. Knoxville's in it. I think you would enjoy it. But Any concern about a response from the final boss?
Honestly, I'm just tired of these old heads, thinking they can hang and come in here with this, younger generation. And I don't even want to speak for everyone else. I'm speaking for just myself. At the end of the day, I'm my own person. I'm the greatest Mysterio of all time. If these old heads want to come in and get it, they all can. CM Punk, The Rock, don't matter. They're just mad because they don't have hair, and I have the best hair and the best mustache.
That is incredibly hard to argue with, so I'm not even gonna try at this point. But I know also too, I've seen some posts as well recently. You've compared yourself recently to Anakin Skywalker on some of the posts you put up on your X account. How much inspiration from him do you draw when you're in the ring or you're out and performing? What does Anakin mean to you?
Man, I love me some Anakin Skywalker. I feel like he's one of the originals. His vision was just to do better, and people didn't understand him, and he had to do what he felt was right. And I feel like that's what I'm doing. I feel like I'm doing what's right. I feel like I'm just speaking my truth, being honest, and people like that. So what do I have to do? To do it the hard way.
Now, I know recently you've had some new gear on. I saw you had a tribute recently to La Parca and some Lucha Libres as well. What gear tribute has been your favorite, and do you have any more in the pipeline that's coming up? I grew up in the WCW days, so I'm a big fan of the Lucha Libre and the Cruiserweight division. Tell me more about that, and if you have anything else that potentially fans could be looking forward to.
I mean, man, I grew up watching, the old WCW luchadors, and even back in the day in AAA, and grew up watching all those guys. So for me, getting, inspiration from gear, whether it's how I wear my shirt, my boots, like you said, La Parca, it's kind of just, paying homage to some of the great luchadors, other than my deadbeat, that have paved the way for guys like me to go in there. So as far as, being able to give away what I have planned for the future, I'll give a hint. If people know their history, Triple Mania 3. That's all I'm going to say.
Very good. Very good. And also, too, you spoke about masks as well recently. I know you called him your deadbeat dad. We'll call him Rey Mysterio for the purposes of the conversation, sir. You mentioned wearing a mask before. Could you see this, potentially, putting the mask on? Could you see that being worked into a Judgment Day storyline? And what would that mean for you to finally be able to don the mask?
No, there's no need to cover this pretty face.
Fair. Okay, fair. But I'm just asking. Gotta ask.
And there would be there's no my that's the honor, right? And proving to people who the real and best Mysterio is, because I don't need a mask. I don't need to hide who I am. I can go out there and be like, hey, this is me. I'm pretty. You're ugly. I have the best mustache. I have the best hair. You're ugly. And that's just it's the way it is. It's life.
Now, I know I saw you a little bit concerned there in the shark cage as someone who's afraid of heights, making sure you're good, making sure there was no issues there. So I know you're a little anxious. I don't mean to insult you. I apologize. Listen, I'm with you, man. But what's next for you and Liv now that Raquel is in the fold? Judgment Day seems to be doing very, very well. What's next for Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest? And there's some unfinished business there. What can we expect to see coming from y'all next?
I mean, we're done with Priest and Rhea, the Terror Turds, whatever they like to call themselves, the twins, 40 years apart. But anyways, honestly, now that we've gotten rid of some dead weight in the Judgment Day, and we've replaced them with, people like Raquel and Carlito and, my Juanita Liv, it's been really good for the Judgment Day. We have Finn and JD as the World Tag Team Champions. We have Liv as the Women's World Champion. I would say I have some unfinished business with Jey Uso. There's something he has that I might want, or not might. There's something of his that I want, and that's definitely not Rhea. So I don't know. We'll see what the Judgment Day has in store.
My last question for you, now that I have you here as well. It was just announced, believe this morning, that you'll be facing Seth Rollins on October 25th on SmackDown in Brooklyn, which which is right up here, about an hour from where I'm at. I know you have some history going back to the pandemic and the Thunderdome days. What's your plan for the match? What can we expect to see you bring out against Seth freaking Rollins?
Well, if I get the opportunity, I'm going to make sure that Seth is tied up in the ropes, and I'm going to, hopefully Liv will be there, hand her a kendo stick while she's on the outside. I'll take a kendo stick while I'm on the inside, and while Seth is tied up within the ropes like this, I'm going to beat the living shit out of him with the kendo stick, like he did to me.
It's fair. Eye for an eye, if you will. I don't disagree for you, sir. But
I mean,
Dominik,
you said it yourself.
Hey, listen, I'm just saying, I was there. I watched what happened. It was a little graphic. It was a little much, but listen, it's exciting times. But Dominik Mysterio, I want to thank you for your time, sir, and being here. I appreciate you. Go ahead and check out SmackDown on October 25th and also Monday Night Raw this Monday coming up. The Judgment Day will be there in full effect. Dominik Mysterio, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Don't be a deadbeat.
Foundation Radio is hosted, recorded, and produced by Adam Barnard. Additional narration and production is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. Our mixing and engineering was done by Carl Pinnell. Our intro and outro music is performed by Dumb Ugly. Additional musical accompaniment is performed and produced by Enrichment. Our cover art photography was done by Dylan Enninger. Follow Adam on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at This Is Goober, and follow the show on Twitter, again, not calling it X, at FND Radio Pod. Find the entire show archive at foundationradio.net. This has been a Butts Carlton Media production, Butts Carlton, proprietor.
That doesn't work for me, brother. Peace, guard!